we have started this webinar series for our prospective clients, wherein our existing clients come and speak about how they adopted solar. So what we thought was, instead of us telling you about what solar adoption is, we wanted our existing clients who experience solar to come and speak about it. So some of the questions you may have is like, is adopting solar a headache for me? Can I completely go off grid? So these are the questions which we hope to answer during this webinar. So please feel free to ask questions anytime. Please raise your hand. You can use the raise hand button, and therein you can will immediately come to you. A request which I have is kindly refrain from speaking about offer specific details for confidentiality. And we will be recording this webinar for future reference. We'll be sharing the webinar videos with all the participants, and also we'll be putting it on LinkedIn. So to begin the webinar, I would like to introduce you to Enapark. So Enapark is a global operator with headquarters in Hamburg, Germany. So over the last 12 years, we have done more than 3,000 megawatts of solar, out of which around 2,000 megawatts we own as asset owners. Our assets are spread across multiple geographies. So a lot of our footprint is in Europe. We had a very thriving business in the US, and now we are also started asset development in India, wherein we have about 8 megawatts of assets. We are ranked number one in Europe and ranked number 7 in the world. In India, we have a footprint of around 165 megawatt. So this kind of gives you an idea of where all Enapark is present. Yeah, where all Enapark is present. So as you see, we are spread across from say north to south. We are also working on a project in the east in Assam. So we hope to actually expand our footprints in India. So as a team, we are about say 50 people in Bangalore. Who are we? If you ask us, I mean, we are all enthusiasts who believe in solar. So you may know that Enapark globally specializes only in solar. So we have built a fair amount of expertise in solar. We believe that empowering our clients is our mantra, and we want to educate, we want to actually act as behave as your consultants for solar, be it with business or without business. Please feel free to reach out to Enapark to understand more about solar. Please treat us as your partners. As Enapark, the core qualities which we are really proud of are: we are very open, we are transparent, and we are approachable. So please don't hesitate to ask us any questions. We care for our clients. We are agile as a company. We are a small, nimble company. We immediately adapt to the changing requirements. We are specialized in solar. We are an extremely professional company, comes from our German and Indo roots, and we are reliable. So this reliability has been appreciated by a host of companies who are our esteemed clients. So this kind of gives you our idea of who we are already doing business with and who we are partners with. So you can see a who's who of Indian business and global business also. Yeah. So today with us to share about their experience of adopting solar, we have requested Mr. Rakshit Kumar of Kluber Lubrications India to give you an insight of how solar was implemented in Kluber. He will talk to you about his own experience, about working with Enapark, about working with regulatory authorities, the technical aspects of the plant, and a host of things. So he comes from, I mean, this plant is located in Mysore. Mysore, as most of you may be aware, is about 140 kilometers from Bangalore. It's a fantastic city, known for this time of the year. It is usually known for the Dasara festival also. But this year being COVID, it might be a muted celebration, but you can contact Mr. Rakshit or me to talk about Dasara later on. So Mr. Rakshit, who comes from Kluber, Kluber is actually a part of the Freudenberg Group, which is again a German company. It's about a 150-year or 160-year-old company, which is spread across more than 60 countries, employing more than 40,000 people. So some of the, you may have interacted with the Fraudenberg Group's products. So some of the products are Kluber, Gala, which is a household good, OKS, Chemtrend, and host of other products. So I welcome Mr. Rakshit and Mr. Tausif, his colleague, to this webinar. And now I will hand over the webinar to Mr. Rakshit to speak about the solar power plant at Kluber. And post this, the webinar will be a sort of a Q&A, and we welcome the questions from our clients or the other participants also. So, Mr. Rakshit, please take over, and it's your field.
Thank you, Anup. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thanks for the introduction. Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all for this discussion on solar power plant and our experience with NR Park and with solar plant. I have a small presentation to make. I will just take you through the solar plant, our experience on solar plant, and how we executed it. I'll just share the slides with you. Just one moment. See, actually, why we went for solar? See, we have a KPI. Being a German multinational, we have a KPI on sustainability initiative, and our KPI is to have around 50% of solar of renewable energy to be utilized in the plants. And it is not only a KPI for India, but it's global KPI. So this is a brief about our plant. Our average consumption last year was around 90,000 kilowatt hour per month, and we had these rooftops. Even though we had a bigger roof, but we have some EX area, so we have chosen only the warehouse and the production area where we don't have the EX installation. And we have totally around 5,000 square meters of roof area. And basically, this was also advantageous for us. We have an inclination on either side of less than 10 degrees. And also the buildings are east-west, which was north-south. It's north-south and very suitable for the solar panel installations. And we at least we want our KPIs is around we have to at least utilize solar power or renewable energy of around 55%, and we thought, okay, at least we have to go for 50,000 kilowatt per month. This was our idea when we started off this project. See, in Mysore we have adopted the BOOT model. Let me tell you why we chose this and how we could conclude that we can go for BOOT model. See, when we wanted to start with when we had the discussion on KPI, anyway, we had to go for a sustainable energy for at least 50%. We explored various options. The options available in India was one is to buy the power with people who have the solar plant or wind power or somewhere where the installations are, and wheel it to your plant and you buy it from them. This was not possible for us because our consumption was less, and you need at least 1 mega for the permission to get the permission to wheel for your plant. The only the option left for us was the solar plant, the solar, and we evaluated our area and we had around 5,000 square meter, and that is how we thought, okay, let us go with a rooftop solar plant in our premises. We started exploring various options available in the market. That was one is the capex model and the BOOT model. The capex model is suitable for people who already have money with them, who have surplus money and they can invest in it. That is a very good option because from day one you start saving. So long as there is sun, you start getting power for free. Of course, the ROI for this is around 3.5 years, and after that it's all free. There is good saving in that. And when you go for a boot model, you don't invest anything. Your money is intact with you, and you have you can invest on your core business, and you don't have any hassles. We being a Kluber cash rich company, still we went for boot model for the reasons below. We are a very lean manufacturing plant here. Our engineering team is very small. We are lean management, and we have very stringent headcount here, so we cannot increase manpower for this. And our core, the team core focus is on business improvement, process improvement, and we didn't want to take the hassles of running the solar power plant and installing this and all that. So this is the when we evaluated various these two options, we thought that okay, this boot model was much suitable for us because our money was intact and we can invest on our expansion and make more better returns than what we get from solar. And okay, of course, our investment will be zero. Asset ownership, you can agree for any period of time from 5 to 15 years, whatever, 25 years, of course, up to 25 years you can agree upon. We have chosen 15 years because by the time it becomes 15 years, we are well experienced in it. And also we are comfortable, we know how to performing it, and then we transfer for zero value, and we still and we start getting for free. Okay, and we also have an option anytime we have made an agreement with them. Anytime we want to transfer the ownership, we have an agreement at what value we are going year wise. So anytime we feel that we are comfortable and we would like to save more, we can transfer it anytime by paying that money. But after 15 years, if you transfer, there will be nil. And the performance guarantee is by NRPARC. We have a guaranteed minimum guaranteed generation agreement, and month on month we review and make sure that we are getting the minimum agreed generation. So it's a hassle-free operation for us. And with all these things, we also save nearly around 30% of power. That is a total 30% of our cost on the power. So we have our money intact with us. Second thing is we can invest on our for our expansion that money and make more money than what we can save from solar power. And also, if you're not investing on your investing on expansion or anything, and you want to deposit, still you earn money on interest plus 30% of your cost on power. So this was the decision matrix. What we did, we made a decision matrix, and we that with our lean manufacturing system, with our manpower, what is available, we wanted to focus more completely on our business and the core business, and make innovation in our business rather than focusing on putting up the plant and operating it. This was our main criteria for taking this. But of course, the decision is open. Save if you want to make a higher saving, you can go with the capex investment. So this is the synopsis, snapshot of the project. We started in 2019. We signed an agreement on February, and the designs and all were done, and we commissioned the plant. Actually, we were supposed to commission the plant on 20th of June. That is what our aim was, but we could commission the plant on around 20 ahead of the schedule. But this we were running the plant from 3rd to 17th on trial basis. We have one pending statutory approval from the government, and 17th ultimately we got, and at least full-fledged we started running from. In fact, the completion of the was around 20 days ahead, and the complete we started using completely at least around 3 days ahead of the schedule. And the installed capacity is around 462 kilowatt peak, and these are all the sustainability because we have a sustainability KPI, as I told you in the beginning. These are all what we have achieved because of this. So this is a schematic diagram. Okay, it's a general diagram. I just don't want to go through this technology because NRPact is much. So this is the execution. Before we started the execution, we have clearly analyzed our roof because these are old buildings. When we designed these buildings earlier, there was no concept of solar. So we had not considered any load above the roof. All the loads were considered below the roof. So we had to make the stability check of our roof, and we have also made a robust design on panel fixing. We didn't want to puncture our roofs because this sandwich panel with rock wool inside it. Because we want the temperature, the ambient temperature to be cooler inside the plant. So these are all, if there is any extra hole made, and if there is during rainy season, if there is any absorption of water, the rock wool, it expands and we will not be able to repair that so easily. So we were very, very careful on this. We didn't want to have any extra holes. So we had to make a robust design because the wind load is also high in Mysore, and because there is a gap between the panels and the roof of around 150 mm. There will be also during windy days, normally there will be movement of the roof, and we wanted to make sure that the roof is very, very stable. So we had to make this stability, roof stability study with a structural engineer. We saw that the roof is very intact. Of course, NRPact was totally involved in this. They don't take up any project if the roof is not stable. We have to give them a certificate from our structural engineer that roof is capable of taking this load, then only they start executing. And they also have a very strong engineering team. They also analyze our roof, and even if the certificate is from both sides, from us and as well as them, that the roof is stable and we can go ahead. So this is one precaution we have taken before we started executing this. And we being a German company, we have a very high safety standards in our plant, and we do not compromise a 0% compromise safety and quality. In fact, we pay for these two aspects for aesthetics, safety practices, and quality assurance. So this is our main focus, and our focus, we don't compromise. There is a zero compromise on safety on our practices, and that was ensured by NRPact before and after while executing it. These are some photos of execution during execution, and this is a sunset photograph what we have taken just after installing of the panels. The cranes are still hanging around, so it is just before the commission. Okay. So I will just brief you the selection process we went through for selecting the vendor. So when we decided that we go for the solar plant in Mysore, we have evaluated various service providers in India, maybe around 10 to 15 people. We have visited them all over India. We have visited the plants in Gujarat, Pune, Bangalore, many places in India, and we evaluated them, for us, the first and foremost is the safety standards. We were very clear that the company safety policy and documented procedures for this, and we wanted to make sure that they have a strong design team, because it's a winter, and the roof, when we conceived this, when we built this buildings were not designed for above the roof, it was all below the roof. So all this, to make sure all these concerns are addressed, we wanted to make sure that they have a very strong design team, and also the quality policy of the service providers. So we evaluated around 10 to 15 companies, saw their execution sites. We went to their sites, and also we went through their documents on safety, on quality, and the design aspects. We could see that NRPARC has a very good documentation system. They have very good policies on design, good policies on safety standards and quality policy, and it was well documented, and we could witness that in any of the site. See, basically, why we have to be very careful on this safety standard is these are all working at height. You work on the roof. There is no work done on floor. These are all the works are done on the roof. Minimum at a height. Ours is 18 meters building, and they'll be working at height of 18 meters. And during windy, we started that in windy season, and there will be wind, and we have to be very careful. And we made sure, but they have NRPAC has a policy that without lifeline they don't work on the roof. So the first step was installation or requirement of a lifeline, and to make sure that all the people who work on the roof, they take all these PPEs, and they hook their safety gadgets to the lifeline, and they have one separate safety engineer is posted apart from the execution engineer. There is one safety engineer posted to the plant. This was our requirement, and that was well documented with them before we asked. So this is how we could shortlist them for this project. And also we had a couple of meetings with our engineering team from Germany. We had a WebEx meetings with all the service vendors, and we finally concluded that we will partner with NRPAC for our project in Mysore. So this is a brief about the project in Mysore what done. So I'm open for questions.
Sir, thank you very much for your brief presentation. I think it was very useful, and it had very important points there. So, as Mr. Rakshit also said, now the webinar is open for questions. So, if anybody has questions, please press the raise hand button, and then we can come to you and you can ask the questions directly to Mr. Rakshit. Sir, in the meantime, I had a few questions, if I may ask.
Sure.
So now, when what we see is deciding for solar is actually a very long process for the management to believe in solar and believe in the service provider. Can you walk us through that process? How did management actually get convinced that solar is going to work at Fluber?
See, basically any management, when you show that there is a lot of savings with any project, with any investment, okay, no management will say no for that. And if it is hassle-free, they start following with us for implementing it. Basically, when we started this project, we evaluated, we made our finances, and we showed the management what we save when we go for a solar project. One is the sustainability. We will have a A rating in the market because today when a company is evaluated, they also sustainability projects what we have, because a lot of question here when we receive from our customers. One of the criteria is what we have done for the environment and what is our sustainability projects we have taken up. See, first thing is we will be it will be very easy for us to answer that we are 55% already with solar energy. Second thing is when you do your finance, you can compare what will be your savings from the project. You can do both the things. You can show if it is a capex project, what will be the saving. If it is a OPEX or a boot model, what will be the saving. And then, first of all, when we make this presentation, definitely will be taken that we should go with solar. So, and what model we should take, then you have to convince the management or management decision that whether you can go with capex or you can go with model. So, from my experience, I have handled a lot of projects in India and abroad. Convincing for a solar project is much easier than for any other expansion, because one is sustainability, second thing is it's a direct saving from day one.
Okay.
And as long as there is sun, you start saving.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's right, sir. I mean, thanks for that. Sir, I have another question. I mean, you spoke about safety and how important safety was. I wanted to understand, I mean, was it a big concern to put something on the roof and have people walk on it? I mean, were you really worried about what's going to happen to the roof and things like that? I mean, how was that kind of mitigated?
See, basically, we were not worried about that, because we knew that if we have to definitely make a stability study on the roof, and definitely we knew that if our roof is not stable, or it cannot take any roof will be designed with a factor of safety, and it will be taken care of the wind loads and all that during design. But we still wanted to make sure that the roof is stable, and we can load this, because normally what happens when you earlier when the building is designed, most of the time we just consider loads below the roof, because we hang so many things there, the fire lines, the sprinkler system, the lighting system, and all that. We will consider plus some safety on that. But normally we don't consider much load above the roof, especially when you have a panel and you have a gap of around 100 mm between it. You will have some wind load, and there will be some upward movement and all that. So that was not a concern for us, but we wanted to make sure that the building is stable for that. So we did a stability study, and we were very sure that if it is slightly unstable, we can add on the structure and make it stable. That was that possibility was with us. So we did this study and saw that the roofs are quite stable.
Okay.
For taking this load.
Okay. So roof stability played a very important role in the whole thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is a very important criteria, because it's a running plant. If it's a new plant, you design from the beginning. But if it is a running plant and a old plant, you really have to make that study before you take it, before you start implementing.
True. Sir, I wanted to also ask you, how about the regulatory approvals? I mean, so what was your involvement, and how much of a hassle was regulatory approvals for your?
I I really don't know what are the hassles, because we just signed the papers required by you, and that was taken care by you. We never interacted with any of the regulatory people, and they just visited the plant, but everything was taken care. So I really don't know what is the hassle, how difficult it is to it and all that. We didn't get involved in that. Our job was to give you the required documents, signed documents to you.
Correct. I mean, the documents were probably provided by Kluber and all the regulatory work. I mean, running around and everything was probably done by the service provider.
Service provider, yeah.
Yes. So, I wanted to ask you one thing. I mean, can you walk us through the PPA experience? I mean, I personally was interacting with you. Can you just tell our prospective clients how was the PPA experience and how did can you give us some pointers on that?
See, we had long discussions and along with our advocates and all that. And see, the process was very smooth because a lot of give and take happened, and we didn't have, you know, our mindset was same. We have much differences in our thinking. So even both the advocates were able to legally vet through all our documents, and we could sign the documents. I think we didn't have any big issues during our PPA agreement.
Okay.
It did not take a long time to do that. We have a very strong legal sitting in Bangalore, and they were really fussy about it. But we could get through. We could, that whenever we make an agreement, there is give and take. That was very smooth, no hassles. So that was something which we are really happy about.
Okay. So any other questions? I mean, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask Mr. Rakshit. Actually, some of the questions which we keep getting is what I'm asking, sir. In the earlier webinars also, a lot of our clients have these questions in their mind, and that is why some of them hesitate in the webinar. So I'm asking it on their behalf.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Sanjeev Thakur from Colgate.
Please
So
go ahead.
I have a question to Mr. Rakshit. That what are the safety countermeasures they have taken, for the electrical safety? As I can understand, the panels and there are a lot many, the cabling, then the inverters, then the transformers or something like that, switch gears. So how do you, rate this installation as a safety in terms of the electrical safety point of view?
Okay. See, as far as we are very, very concerned about the safety, especially with the electrical, because they get synchronized at the main panel, and we have to be very, we have to be really concerned about this safety. And I have my colleague, Mr. Tausi, who is an electrical engineer and who has done all this installation. Would you like to share the safety what we have taken care of?
Hello, good evening all. Sir, I would like to tell during this project, before we could implement it, we did analysis on SLD, so where all we need safeties. So from MCCB till the end point, all the precautions were taken. We did analysis on SLD, stating that where all the parameters are provided, and even MCCBs which were designed the Energy Park. This has the load which has to be taken care, and also they have taken care for earthing with the lightning arrangement. Everything has been taken care by Energy Park. Even reverse power protection system, it was wonderfully done, and we are using net metering here. Till date, there was no problem with such, because before we were worried that it will be a problem during the running of DG, diesel generator. But they have installed a system, reverse power protection. It was explained very well during the project, and we could able to see the actual process running through now. So there was till date there is no any breakdowns with respect to electrical installations.
Thank you for that. Just to add, Mr. Sanjeev, do you have any specific question? Because we have Enerpark's engineering head, Mr. Srinivas Raju, also in the webinar. So if you have any specific questions, I'll ask Mr. Srinivas also to answer you right now.
I am basically specifically want to understand about the panel, wherein the roof panels are there, and the sun, I mean, the light is being converted into the power in the module, which is, there may be a construction of the panel. I'm not aware more on it, but I'm assuming that there may be a circuits and everything below the panel, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so if sometime, or because I, sometime back I came to know that there was an fire in some of the factory wherein it got started from the solar panel which is on the roof. So
Okay.
I mean, what are the potential countermeasures so that it could be limited, or there is the proper, just like the gentleman was telling, MCB, all those protection switch gears, but specifically to the panel.
Sure. I understood your
Okay.
questions. I'll let Mr. Srinivas Raju to take it up.
Hi. This is specifically onto the solar modules protection. I believe what your question is.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Solar module itself, where the sunlight is getting converted into the power, is an encapsulation of solar cells with a materials called glass and Tedlar. So it is hermetically sealed. That is the first point. The output from the solar module at that DC voltage and the current is coming out from a junction box, which is hermetically sealed again to the back of the module. So once this power is available in these cables, if that is not being properly connected either in series or parallel combination with the loose connections or any other things, there is a possibility that it can create some kind of a sparks and raise any of this fire on the roof. So that is the one first thing, means using of termination from one module to the another module or stringing of these modules appropriately by using a right connectors and not by a simple wire to wire connection, which generally people try to adopt kind of things without any connectors. That is the first thing. And then till it gets connected to the inverter, which is below the roof or wherever it is, there is no discontinuity of the cable that is being used. We try and maintain that a single cable is run from the string till the inverter, so that any of the leakage current that is trying to short circuit on the roof happens it. This is the second thing. Third thing is to protect the modules against lightning. The module frame is aluminum frame, which is a conductor. So if there is a lightning strike or any other thing, there is a possibility that the frames can transpose this lightning strike and might create any of the short circuit availability with the conductor close to that and can create it. However, we provide a lightning protection for the entire roof such that that will not reach these frames. These are the preliminary kind of things, and the cables are being taken into the cable trays appropriately, and the cable trays, which are metals and other things, and the aluminum frames of the modules are being earthed properly so that there is no such fire incidents being occurred. So these are the protections which we take. Hope I have answered your query. If you are not still convinced, please let me know what you are looking for.
No, understood. So now second thing I want to know, these your panels are rated as class A or class B for the fire?
No, this is class A, class B fire rating is not been part of a Indian business at this point of time. Generally, they are with the class B kind of things which comes into the market. I mean, our rules in India are not being classified for this yet. But we go with tier 1 modules, which are class A classified ones.
Okay. So I mean, as of now, you are not certifying any class for the panels.
I mean, we are not, but the modules which we are trying to buy are already having that protection with them. We are not certifying it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev.
Thank you for your question, Mr. Sanjeev. I hope it was clear. Mr. Rakshit, one last question I had. You did touch upon this. Wanted to ask you if, in a brief, if you can tell us how was your experience working with Enerpark? What are some of the good things and what are the areas of improvement for Enerpark so that we can work on it?
See, I can answer your question on working with Enerpark this way. See, we have, as a group company, as a Fredenberg, we have 18 plants all over India. And after our experience here in Mysore, and people from all the companies have come, and group companies have visited here and seen. And we have, decided to go partner with Enerpark for other installations in India. So that is the experience what we have. So unless we are happy, we don't normally do that. So apart from India, now we have also partnered with Enerpark to do projects in Europe, and which has already started in Munich and in Spain. So globally, after project in Mysore, this was the first project globally for Kluber. And after completing this project, we have tied up with Enerpark globally, and in India as well as for Europe, they will be our service provider. So this is our experience with Enerpark, and we would like to continue for all the group companies.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, sir. Any areas of improvement for us which you can tell us so that we can work on that?
I can't say, area of improvement because people who come for execution are very flexible here. And we could sort out the things then and there, and even the quality of work what was done. Our supervision was minimal. So I don't find major things I can contribute to improve your services.
No, that is very kind of you, sir. So, no, thank you for your time also, sir. I mean, we took away about almost 1 hour of your time, and I would also thank our participants who actually took time from their busy schedule on a Friday evening to come participate in the webinar. And hopefully this webinar was useful to you in your decision making to go for solar. If you do have any questions in the future, you can, I mean, to Mr. Rakshit, you can route it through us. We will take it up with Mr. Rakshit, and if required, we can put you in touch with Mr. Rakshit, get you more information. I hope, sir, you will be kind enough to actually, if there are any questions, you can answer. Yeah,
Definitely.
You can get in touch with your Enerpark representative. I would like to thank once again for all the participants and to the Kluber team also. I think we are anyway ahead of our, we have gone beyond our scheduled time. I would like to close the webinar at this point of time. Thank you once again to one and all. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rakshit. And thank you, Global.